Hey guys, it's Angelo Christian over here with another episode of Real Estate Insider. Today I have my man from Downunda Pools, Mr. Bret Hatfield, in here to visit with us. He's a pool designer, some brilliant work that he's done. And today we're going to learn about if you guys are looking to get a pool in your backyard. Before you do that, give this man a call. I've learned a ton just from talking with him. It's not just about a template and plugging in a pool. There's a whole experience that he's actually going to share with us. And he hit it on the head today. He talked about expectations and deliverables and what was the...
And scope.
And scope. And so, because I think this is huge, because I think in any business, these are areas that a unprofessional kind of skips over. And once you have come across an expert, they're the ones that are going to manage the expectations and making sure that things are done within scope and delivered on time. And so we're going to learn a little bit about your business today, kind of who you are, what you do. And I mean, because and by the way, guys, these are real pictures. This is not something he downloaded off Google Images. This is his work. And it literally is a work of art. It's magnificent. And you can see it's not just about the pool. It's a whole ensemble and experience. And so, if you could kind of tell me a little bit of first off, how did you get started in this business? A little bit about your background.
So I started a long time ago. I have a background in design through my dad, Phil Hatfield, rest his soul, who worked at the School of Architecture of University of Western Australia. So I was always exposed to design, engineering, testing on engineering from a young age. But I also spent my a misspent youth in the ocean.
Okay.
Spent a lot of time at the beach, so I've always been drawn to the outdoors and drawn to water and the benefits of water and the entertainment that it provides
Okay, cool. So you had some inspiration kind of from your dad, engineering and the water. So that really explains how you probably get some of your ideas because some of the stuff seems very fluid, like it ties in very well with the landscaping and some of the architecture around the pool. And so I guess one thing that I'm noticing a difference with your work compared, because I used to own a construction company, where the pool company would come in and just kind of plug in the pool. And like you had mentioned earlier, it was like a template. It wasn't like you're trying to achieve an experience. And so can you talk about how do you pull that off in your mind? Do you have to sit down and consult with the homeowner, or how are the inner workings of your mind when you're putting all this together?
So our process, if say for example you're going to call or the public is going to call, what I like to do is set up an initial meeting, and that's to take a look at your environment. Let's look at, do a landscaping inventory. Let's look at the architecture of your home. Let's talk about the space. Okay. Let's talk about your lifestyle. Okay. I like to take a look at the interior of your home because in some cases we like to pull the interior to the exterior. So we have a project that flows. So we use all of these terms because these are all terms that you may not use on a daily basis. But when it comes to design and having something that looks like it's designed when the home was built, as opposed to a tacked on afterthought.
Right.
So the other thing I might add, if you don't mind, Angelo, as we go through this, is ask lots of questions. As you go through this, there's a lot of people out there that are just, they're really money-based. It's about getting your business, and without sitting down and answering a lot of the questions that are not asked. So that means that silly things that you wouldn't normally consider. And this is digressing from design slightly, but it's about scope and expectations. We use what they call a T360 skid steer machine to excavate the pools. And skid steer means that you lock one track and the other one goes around it. So there's a possibility we're going to leave black marks on the driveway. This is a heavy piece of machinery. Some driveways, you being in the construction business, understand some of them don't have rebar in there.
Yeah.
They don't have steel in them. So there's a possibility it cracks.
Yeah.
Who's going to deal with that?
Right.
Who's going to take care of it?
Right.
Whose responsibility is it?
Right.
The same thing when we tear up the sod. Do you want us to put the sod back, or are you going to just let it all grow back later on? Once again, these are expectations. When you don't bring all these up front. Another one is your irrigation system. Variably, there's valves and zones to your irrigation system that are going through the backyard. We go through and we tear that up. So now who's responsible for the repair?
Right.
And so when you sit down and look at somebody who's actually sat down and thought through your process, why is this pool costing this much and why is this one costing only this much? So be sure to whoever you go with, that you sit down and think through it before you pull the trigger. The longer you can take to sit down and filter through all the things that can come along, the more likely you're going to have a far better experience.
Okay. And now one thing that I'm sure that a lot of viewers may be asking, as far as like the financing or the funding when it comes to, let's say that, and I can talk to you a little bit about this. So we have mortgages that we can actually tie in. If you guys are looking to buy a house, we have a mortgage, a renovation mortgage that you can actually get funding for the pool and like an outdoor kitchen. So let's say that you're buying a $300,000 house in the Woodlands and you want one of his pools, and with the outdoor kitchen, that's a $60,000 package or $80,000 package. We can bundle all that in together, so that way you don't have to actually pay cash for the pool. Some people have that kind of money, some people don't. We can wrap it all in and give you one mortgage. Do you ever get questions about that, like on the financing piece?
A lot, and so let me kind of embellish upon that just a little bit. I work with quite a few builders, and so we're working with the architects at a point where we have a vacant lot. And in a lot of cases, it's beneficial to actually, and not all lenders can, and you're better off addressing that, actually rolling the pool in the construction with the construction of the house instead of pool loan, home loan. So yes, I highly recommend calling Angelo if you're in the process of either buying a house or building. I'm sure you do construction loans as well, and sit down and talk about that. Once again, getting all these things situated and worked out right up front.
Well, and I think that some people, they may like glamorize about having a pool, but then they wonder, okay, how am I gonna do it, because maybe their bank doesn't include the financing for the pool, and they're like, I remember I've some customers
happens a lot.
That I've talked to. I think a lot of people, especially in hot areas like Texas or Florida, they're gonna want a pool. But they're like, okay, how am I going to do it? And maybe they don't want a second mortgage with a higher rate. You can actually tie the pool into your first mortgage and have like a 3.5% fixed mortgage, and then have one low payment. And so a lot of people, maybe they don't know. There's a lot of ambiguity right there. And so my point is that should not be a roadblock to have somebody stop you. Because if I had this in my backyard, I'd probably work twice as hard. So, I love to come home after a 16 or 17 hour day, and I really do work that much, and just chill out in my hot tub, And so, because it makes you feel, and that's one thing that I really love about your work is the feeling that I get. The first house that I built for me was in 2006, and I did a saltwater pool. I spent about $60,000 for it, and I couldn't get a mortgage at that time for that. I didn't have that for that type of loan. And the guy, it was literally like he took it like a template and just stamped it in my backyard. And I got so bored of the pool, and we didn't even use it. It was just like there was nothing exciting about it, and he screwed up the yard, he screwed up the driveway, and then he told me if I wanted to get it fixed, it was on me. And and I was like, man, this is. And so I really like that you set the expectations with the customer and you're letting them know what's to come, because people don't know what they don't know. You know what I mean? And then they're going to get pissed off later and say, man, this guy ripped me off. So you're telling them in advance, and that really shows that your integrity and your transparency. So that's huge. And then the other thing is, like I said, it seems like you go above and beyond with your work, and so that's really awesome. And so,
part of the responsibility of my job as a business owner and with what we do is to be sure that you educated. And if I don't educate you properly and give you unbiased information, it will come back and haunt not only me, but both of us. So, there's things like salt. Salt's not for everybody. And in most cases, salt is sold in the wrong way.
Okay.
So once again, it's understanding the tactile. What does it feel like? What's it taste like? What's it look like? How is it going to impact the materials? How will it impact the equipment? How much maintenance does it require? All of these things that we can give you an education without pushing you in one direction or another,
Right.
and give you information that you can independently verify online.
Okay.
All right. So just remember that there's a lot of misinformation online as well.
Right.
Especially with salt, there's no empirical evidence to sit down and support any one argument.
Okay.
So we don't have a control, and then 2 years, 4 years, and 6 years, and these are the results. And we can definitively say this is what salt does or does not cause.
Yeah.
Remember that chlorine is mined from salt as well. It's sodium chloride. So it's the same thing. I go back and tell people, don't take my word for it. Go online and look at the chemical composition of chlorine. And once again, this is all about feel. What we build as lifestyle, what we build as feel.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to be in your pool and feel like, I don't like the feel of this water.
So how does somebody, like, okay, can you kind of, let's say I'm a new customer or someone that's inquiring, can you quickly kind of walk me through what's the process?
Process is once you give us a call, we need a copy of your survey so that I can see any anomalies in terms of easements and aerial easements and what have you, building lines, setbacks, and so forth. What area of town you're in? Some of them require city permitting because they're within city limits. Some of them don't. You're fully aware of that, being in construction. We'll come out and visit with you and once again do a landscaping inventory in your backyard. We'll take a look at your architecture. I like to take a look at the indoors once again to see how we can integrate the inside to the outside so it flows, it has continuity. Then what I'll do is we'll go away and we'll begin the design process. Sometimes it takes us several times to find something that works in the space and works for you and your likes and dislikes. I like to hear the things that you don't like, plus all the things that you do like. Your design style, you may not know what that is. So there's things I can make suggestions as we go along. We'll design, come back, we'll go into what I call design development. And it's like, Bret, I really like this. I don't like this. Let's move that. Once I go through that phase and we both, you're at a point where it's like, oh, wow, I just love that. Then I'll go ahead and pull numbers out and we'll go from there.
Okay, and then how long does it take to normally, I know that it varies, but generally, how long is it, a turnkey package?
I'm always going to tell people that it's going to take longer than it really will. But depending upon the scope of work, complexities, and what needs to be done, it can take anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months.
Okay, just depending.
Yeah, month and a half sometimes, on smaller projects through to 3 months, 4 months.
Okay.
It really does. It depends upon scope of the project, complexities, and what have you.
And it's not just for new construction. Someone can already be a current homeowner.
Yes.
And get this.
Yes.
Okay, and so just to let you know that, and if you guys are looking at from the financing aspect, it's not just for new homes. If you're a current homeowner, like for example, you're here in a Atascocita or an Humble area, or it doesn't matter wherever, and you own a house, and you want to refinance, we have the renovation, the pool loan that we can give you. So let's say that you want to put a pool in your backyard, and you're like, well, how am I going to do that? What's the practicality of that? And let's say that your mortgage is at 5%, we can refinance you to 4% and give you the cash out for the pool. And instead of paying, one big payment, you can get, a consolidated lower payment. Like for example, a $60,000 pool, probably be about a $300 a month payment, for example. So, and a $100,000 pool would probably be about $470 a month. So it's very affordable, and you can get that added into your loan, and also help increase the value of your home too. So it doesn't have to be just for new construction; it can be for a refinance as well. So now, as far as people, now that we understand the process, who you are, if people want to, how do they get in touch with you? Do you have a website or?
Several ways, yes.
Okay.
I have a website, so I recommend going onto our website and having a good look around, and that is downundapools.com. That's DOWNUNDAINCPOOLS.com. pools.com, or you can call me at 281-236-4344, and we can have a chat. It's always best just to have a chat first and see if we're all a good fit. And go from there. I really promise you, I really don't mind sharing as much information as I can, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. The more questions you ask, the easier that process will be.
For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much today, Bret, for coming out to see us, guys. This is Bret Hatfield with Downunda Pools. Please check him out. You can reach him on his website or by phone. This is another edition of Real Estate Insider. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. Take care and peace out. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Angelo. I appreciate it. Thanks for having us on. Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Hey guys, it's Angelo Christian. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you love this video, check us out also on our website, angelochristianmortgage.com. We have many of these videos archived. You can also check us out on our Facebook. It's Angelo Christian Mortgage. And definitely we have 3 shows that air every week. It's Real Estate Insider on Thursday, Learning Hub on Wednesday, and Friday Influencers. Thank you so much.